Part 1. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 1. I'm still alive. Yang Tian jumped up from the bed and looked at the familiar yet strange room, with deep doubts in his eyes. What happened? Didn't I break the void a long time ago, fight against the fierce Zerg on behalf of mankind, and then die of exhaustion? How come I am alive now? This place doesn't look like heaven? Yang Tian is not a middle school patient. He starts dreaming as soon as he wakes up. Everything he thinks in his mind is true. He is not a so-called cultivator. The reason why he can break the void is entirely because of the virtual game Taegzu. In 2135, the fifth year of the global release of Taegzu, a disaster broke out, countless star Zerg invaded the Earth, and the human beings on Earth ushered in an unprecedented catastrophe. For some reason, perhaps it was the mercy of the Creator. The players of Taegzu in reality suddenly have the abilities of the characters in the game. With this group of players as the main force, humans began to fight back against the Zerg. As a god-level assassin, Yang Tian took the lead and flew out of the Earth and headed for the planet where the Zerg was in the vast universe. Yang Tian was too impulsive after all. He did not expect that the star giant worms that invaded the Earth were just the worst of the Zerg. On that planet, every Zerg had power no less than that of a god, and some even condensed into human form. Yang Tian's strength was very strong. It was very simple and easy to fight a god-level Zerg alone, but he was besieged by the Zerg and soon died of exhaustion. While recalling, Yang Tian felt more and more incredible. Am I reborn? Seeing the calendar hanging on the opposite wall, Yang Tian jumped out of bed and rushed over to take a look. 2130, September 2nd. Damn, I'm really reborn, Yang Tian shouted in surprise. Xiao Tian, are you up? Hurry up and wash your face and brush your teeth. Breakfast is ready. The voice of a middle-aged woman sounded outside the door. Mom. Yang Tian's nose was sore and his eyes were red instantly. In his previous life, Yang Tian's parents were not players of Taegzu. When the disaster broke out, Yang Tian watched his parents being swallowed by ugly giant insects and was powerless to save the situation. This has always been a thorn in Yang Tian's heart. The bloody scene was like a nightmare that tortured him for many years. Now he was reborn 5 years ago today. His parents are still alive. He was indescribably moved. After washing up, Yang Tian walked out of the bedroom and came to the living room. I saw a middle-aged woman carrying porridge and fried eggs to the table, and then wiped her hands on the light blue apron, turned her head to see Yang Tian, and smiled slightly. She was about 45 years old, dignified and virtuous. She was Yang Tian's mother Wang Jing. Mom. While washing up, the emotions that had been stable obviously surged again when he saw his mother's familiar voice and smile. Yang Tian rushed forward regardless of everything and hugged his mother tightly. Tears that could not be suppressed also slid down his eyes. Xiao Tian, you are so old, why are you still acting like a spoiled child to your mother? Wang Jing didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and patted Yang Tian's back. Where's my dad? Yang Tian asked, holding back his tears. He went to the construction site. He's been busy lately. Yeah. Yang Tian nodded. His father's name is Yang Donglei, a construction worker. To put it nicely, he is a construction worker, but in fact, he is just a brick mover, and it's very hard. Yang Tian didn't do filial piety in his last life. In this life, he said that he would let his parents enjoy the taste of wealth and glory. Half a minute later, Wang Jing pushed Yang Tian away and scolded him with a smile. Okay, stop acting like a spoiled child. Eat breakfast quickly. It won't taste good if it gets cold. Okay. Yang Tian smiled and nodded, and the surging emotions in his heart gradually calmed down. Go find a job after dinner. You've graduated for more than 2 months. You can't just stay at home all the time. Even if your mother is willing to support you, you have to find a wife and live your own life in the future, Wang Jing said earnestly. Work. Yang Tian smiled. Do I still need to find a job? On August 8, 2130, Takezu was released worldwide. Today is September 2nd, and it has been more than half a month since the game was launched. With the experience of a god-level assassin in his previous life, if Yang Tian enters the game, he will definitely reach new heights. In this life, Yang Tian not only has the consciousness and skills of a god-level assassin, but also a game prophet. He knows all the strategies of many dungeons, the weaknesses of the boss, the coordinates of the treasure chest, he knows them all clearly. Using the game, it is not difficult for him to become a billionaire, so why does he need to find a job? But he can't tell his mother what he thinks in his heart. There is no need to say it. When he makes money, he will naturally use practical actions and white money to let his parents live a rich life. After breakfast, Yang Tian went out. Walking on the street, you can see advertisements for Takezu everywhere. As the first virtual game running globally, the popularity of Takezu is self-evident, attracting major capitals, clubs, and guilds to register and make money. Takezu has been launched for more than half a month, and Yang Tian is already one step late. The most urgent task is to get a virtual device and quickly enter the game. The cheapest virtual helmet also costs 10,000 yuan. Yang Tian has no job, so it is not easy for him to ask his parents for this money. But no money is not a problem for Yang Tian. He can just find a studio that provides game helmets for free. He can even not ask for a salary, because he can make money as long as he enters the game. With this thought, Yang Tian planned to go to the recruitment market. Ding ding ding, the phone rang suddenly. Yang Tian took out his phone from his pocket and saw Huang Xiaolong, his old classmate and best friend. In his previous life, when the disaster broke out, Yang Tian had fought side by side with him and had a close relationship. Xiao Tian, you haven't found a job yet? Don't look for it anymore, come and play games with me. The phone was connected, and Huang Xiaolong's mean voice sounded. Through the phone, Yang Tian could imagine Huang Xiaolong's expression of asking for a beating at this time. We brothers should settle accounts clearly. If you join our union, as long as you complete the basic daily tasks, you will get a monthly salary of 6,000, including food and accommodation, Huang Xiaolong said in a flurry. Yang Tian felt warm in his heart when he heard it. Unlike Yang Tian, Huang Xiaolong is a rich second generation who has no worries about food and clothing. His brother is the president of the Demon God Guild. Huang Xiaolong relied on his relationship to easily get a position as a captain. According to the time in this life, Yang Tian is 22 years old this year, has just graduated from college, and has not found a job yet. Huang Xiaolong still cares about him, and this feeling is worth cherishing. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 2. Speak, do you think I have a lot of free time? Huang Xiaolong couldn't help but urge when he saw that Yang Tian still didn't respond. No, Huang Mao. Yang Tian refused calmly. The conditions proposed by Huang Xiaolong are undoubtedly very generous. Join the Demon God Guild and use virtual equipment for free. As long as you complete basic tasks, you will receive a monthly salary of 6,000, including food and accommodation. Considering Yang Tian's current situation, agreeing to him seems to be a good choice. In fact, it is not the case. You must know that Demon God is a very large guild, ranking among the top 10 in the Chinese theater, with strong capital. Once Yang Tian joins this type of super large guild, he will be bound by the contract and it will be difficult to escape. Huang Xiaolong means well, but he is just a captain, not a real senior executive. During the high-level meeting, he didn't even have the right to speak. Yang Tian didn't want to make it difficult for his brother, so he simply refused the invitation. Besides, Yang Tian was used to being alone and didn't like to be inferior to others. Okay, it doesn't matter if you refuse, I don't think you are a game material anyway. Huang Xiaolong laughed mischievously and said, well then, I'll send you some money. Yang Tian, you know I'm not looking down on you. We are all brothers. I will help you if I can. At worst, you can pay me back when you make money in the future. No need, I'm going to be short of money, I'll talk to you. Yang Tian was moved and smiled. In essence, he still didn't want to ask for help unless he was really embarrassed and had no other choice. Okay, take care of yourself. I, Huang Xiaolong, don't have many brothers. If anything happens to you, please don't talk to me. Huang Xiaolong said the last thing and hung up the phone in a hurry. It seemed that he was indeed quite busy. Yang Tian put his cell phone back into his pocket and called for a taxi to go to the job market. The recruitment market is very hot, and there are still many occupations that are actually being recruited: real estate, car sales, human resources managers, IT programmers, you name it. Yang Tian ignored them all and went straight to the game talent recruitment market. Gonlin Studio is hiring. It requires level 10 or above and bringing your own virtual equipment. The benefits of this studio are great. If you miss this village, you won't have this shop. Fenjiun Studio is recruiting people. The requirements are level 10 or above, bring your own virtual equipment. The minimum guarantee is 3,000 plus commission, food and accommodation are included. The speed is as expected. Everywhere you look, studios large and small are hiring. Taegzu has been running for more than half a month, and the players' levels have gradually increased. Most studios have strict recruitment requirements, or at least they are not friendly to newcomers. This is normal. What studio wants to operate at a loss? Yang Tian shook his head. He didn't even have a virtual device or registered an account now, so he didn't have to go and find trouble. He mainly wants to find a studio that is friendly to newcomers and at least provides free virtual equipment, right? It doesn't matter if you don't need a salary. Sure enough, this kind of studio is hard to find. I almost searched all over Yangtian Street but couldn't find it. Just when Yangtian was feeling a little disheartened, he suddenly caught a glimpse of a beautiful figure out of the corner of his eye. The girl has long hair, airy bangs, white skin, and soft facial features, especially a pair of big watery eyes, shining with innocence and purity. After Yang Tian saw the girl, he felt calm, as if he had been cured. She didn't yell and advertise like the others, but sat quietly in front of the recruitment desk in a corner, and Yang Tian walked over. Blue Moon Studio is recruiting, providing virtual equipment for free, requiring an output profession, level 5 or above, a guaranteed minimum of 1,000 plus commission and food and accommodation are included. Oh, there's drama. Although Yang Tian did not meet the requirements for level 5, he still felt that there was something exciting in his heart. Hello, the girl greeted Yang Tian. Yang Tian has a tall figure and handsome features. The girl's cheeks were slightly red. Please, are you looking for a studio? What level are you at? If your level is high enough, we can increase the minimum salary a bit. Oh, I don't have a virtual device, and I don't have a Taegzu account yet, Yang Tian said frankly. This. The girl opened her mouth and was speechless, looking very hesitant. In fact, providing virtual devices for free is not very tempting. Taegzu is running around the world, and its popularity is self-evident. Professional players who want to find gold in the game are willing to spend money to buy a virtual device. Relatively speaking, the guaranteed salary of 1,000 is really too little. Some professional players want to join a studio because they want stability. And if the guaranteed salary is too small, only a fool would be willing to join. It is better to go it alone. The girl knew this very well. The benefits of their studio were too low and few people cared about it. She finally waited for Yang Tian, a fool, and she didn't want to miss it just like that. However, Yang Tian not only failed to meet the basic requirements for level 5, he didn't even have an account. This was very risky. Could he be a rookie who had never played a game before? You know, in the first few days when Tegzu was launched, major stores provided virtual equipment for free trials. If you try it for just a few days, you can still meet the basic requirements of level 5, right? This boy must be a newbie who doesn't understand the game. The girl was disappointed. Beauty, I'm a fresh graduate and I haven't found a job yet. I'm desperate now, please take me in. I don't need a guaranteed salary, I just want food and accommodation, and I can use virtual equipment for free. Yang Tian said pitifully. Is that so? Okay then, the girl smiled happily. Yang Tian's decision not to have a guaranteed salary undoubtedly saved the studio a lot of expenses. Moreover, even if Yang Tian didn't have a guaranteed salary, he still had to contribute to the studio, such as handing in a certain amount of game coins every month, actively cooperating with the transfer, and giving priority to selling good things to the studio, etc., which would invisibly generate income for the studio. The girl got something for nothing and caught Yang Tian, a fool. She didn't know how happy she was. Then shall we sign the contract now? The girl was afraid that Yang Tian would run away, and quickly took out a stack of documents. So fast, Yang Tian was stunned. He thought that recruitment should not be so hasty. He should first check the information of the recruiter, determine the profession that the other party is good at, and then put forward targeted requirements, etc. We are in a hurry. The girl smiled, opened the contract, crossed out guaranteed 1,000, and added a 0 with a black pen. Yang Tian looked at the corner of his mouth and twitched. This is also possible? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 3. Under the girl's urging, Yang Tian reluctantly signed his name on the expired contract. Wow, I finally hired someone. Yang Tian, let's go, I'll take you home. The girl carefully rolled up Yang Tian's contract, stuffed it into her bag, and said happily. Yang Tian's mouth twitched. He knew that the other party had regarded him as a fool, and he couldn't help but feel speechless. Being regarded as a fool by a real fool, this feeling is really a bit strange. And these things, can you help me move them back? The girl smiled sweetly. Not too stupid, and you know how to use people. Yang Tian smiled in his heart and honestly moved the tables and chairs. It can be seen that the girl is very frugal. She was reluctant to take a taxi and took Yang Tian on the bus. She's cute, has a good figure, and knows how to manage the household. Well, she's very suitable to be married home as a wife. When the girl stood up, her perfect figure was revealed. She wore a light blue suspender t-shirt on the upper body and a pair of white ultra-short jeans on the lower body. Her curves were exposed, full of youthful vitality, especially the pair of white and straight beautiful legs. Yang Tian thought that he could play for at least a year, and at the same time he couldn't help but why about the girl. However, his beautiful fantasy about the girl was soon shattered. After getting off the bus, Yang Tian carried the table and chairs and followed the girl for half an hour before finally arriving at the rental house where the studio was located. This is not thrifty, it's simply stingy, or stupid. Would you rather walk such a long way than spend the taxi fare? Dong dong, the girl started knocking on the door. With a click, the door opened. Sister, you are finally back. I've been waiting for you to eat. I'm so hungry. By the way, did you recruit anyone? Male or female? The person who opened the door was a teenager, about 18 years old, very handsome, with a little resemblance to the girl between his eyebrows. If Yang Tian guessed correctly, the two of them should be direct relatives. The teenager spoke very fast. He actually saw Yang Tian when he was halfway through his words, but like a patient with obsessive-compulsive disorder, he had to finish his words before he finally started to look at Yang Tian. Wow! It's a man, and what's more hateful is that he looks more handsome than me. The teenager's reaction was more than a beat slower. He seemed to be very dissatisfied with Yang Tian's existence as a man, and shouted, "Boy, what level are you? I tell you, if you are not level 10, you can't enter this door today." As he said, he blocked the door in a serious manner. "I'm level 0, Yang Tian smiled. "Level 0? The boy was stunned, a little confused. "No, after registering Taixu, all new characters are level 1. He, Xiaofeng, you don't know again, Yang Tian hasn't registered an account yet." The girl covered her mouth and chuckled. "Sister, you are confused again, why do you bring everyone home? Don't you feel sorry for sister? Use money," the boy said angrily. "It doesn't matter, he doesn't want a salary." The girl laughed even more brightly. "No salary, even if he doesn't want a salary, you can't, huh?" "He doesn't want a salary," the boy called Xiaofeng seemed to have a knot in his brain, and his reaction was unusually slow. When he reacted, he looked at Yang Tian with a look of friendliness and a hint of sympathy. The reason for sympathy was obviously because he, like his sister, regarded Yang Tian as an idiot who knew nothing. "Kitty, come in and eat." Another girl's voice came from the room. "Let's go in," the girl said to Yang Tian, and rudely pushed Xiaofeng, who was blocking the door. Xiaofeng screamed exaggeratedly, holding his chest with a look of pain. Yang Tian smiled, moved the table and chairs, and walked into the house. The living room was very simple, with a square table in the middle. On the square table, there were 3 lunch boxes, all unopened. Xiaofeng's so-called waiting for her sister to come back for dinner seemed to be true, but it seemed that Yang Tian had no share. There was a girl sitting coldly on a chair, with long hair draped over her shoulders and side bangs. Her skin was as white as snow, her eyebrows were beautiful and her eyelashes were curved, and there was a pair of thin lips under her delicate nose. Her appearance was a little too delicate, and her temperament was very cold, like a snowy mountain that had not melted for thousands of years. Even if she wore a loose and cute pink and white pajamas, she still couldn't cover up her powerful aura. "This girl is not simple." This was Yang Tian's first impression, or rather, the girl's family was not simple. Some temperaments can't be faked. The noble and cold arrogance revealed from the girl's bones, at first glance, is a rich lady. "This is the boss of our Blue Moon studio, Lan Yu. I am Lan Mao, and this is my unfilial brother, Xiaofeng." Lan Mao introduced them to Yang Tian one by one. Yang Tian nodded to everyone. He knew that Lan Yu, Lan Mao, Xiaofeng were not real names, they should be gameids. "Hello Yang Tian, welcome to join us." Lan Yu smiled awkwardly and said, "I'm sorry, because we didn't expect you to come, we didn't help you order food." "It doesn't matter, let him go hungry for a meal," Xiaofeng said heartlessly. "Smelly boy, why are you so rude?" Lan Mao was so angry that she stretched out her hand and hit him, which touched Yang Tian very much. He thought she would help him order a portion, but who knew that she took a pair of bowls and chopsticks and shared her lunchbox with Yang Tian a little bit. "Well, it's really just a little bit. You can't play games if you're hungry, Yang Tian, eat quickly, I still have apples after you finish eating," Lan Mao said while protecting her lunchbox, as if she was afraid that Yang Tian would ask her for more. She was stingy. "Oh, if there are only 2 bites, then I can really finish it quickly," Yang Tian said lightly. Puff, Yang Tian mocked with some dark sarcasm, which made Lan Yu laugh. That bright smile was like an iceberg melting, beautiful beyond words. "I'll give you some too, anyway I can't finish it." Lan Yu smiled and gave her lunchbox to Yang Tian. She was more generous and gave half of it directly. "Thank you." Yang Tian nodded at Lan Yu and turned to look at Xiaofeng. "You, what are you looking at me for?" "Okay, then I'll give you some too." Xiaofeng was reluctant, but still gave some to Yang Tian. As a result, The contents of Yang Tian's bowl were the most abundant, which made Blue Cat, the little foodie, envious and secretly took food from Yang Tian's bowl several times. Everyone exchanged information while eating. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 4. Yang Tian learned from the chat that this so-called Blue Moon Studio, even with himself included, only has 4 people. You know, a general studio has dozens of people at least, and hundreds of people at most. This kind of studio with only 4 people is the first time Yang Tian has seen it, and he can't help but be speechless. Of course, Yang Tian doesn't care about these. As long as the virtual equipment is provided for free, he doesn't care. Lan Yu and Lan Mao are college classmates, about the same age, around 20 years old. Both of them are strong girls. They have completed all the credits and can graduate at any time. Theoretically speaking, they are in the internship stage, but they did not go to the corresponding units for internship, but chose to make money in the game. In comparison, Xiao Feng is much worse. This kid just graduated from high school, his grades are not good, and he failed to get into college. Hearing that his sister's classmate, Lan Yu, had started a studio, he joined in. In addition to Lan Yu, Lan Mao, and Xiao Feng, Lan Yu actually invited another classmate, a total of 4 people to open this so-called Blue Moon Studio. But the classmate changed his mind at the last minute, and there was an extra virtual helmet, which allowed Yang Tian to take advantage of this opportunity. Yang Tian, you and Xiao Feng can live in the same room, Lan Yu discussed with Yang Tian. This rental house has 3 bedrooms and a living room, and Lan Yu, Lan Mao, and Xiao Feng each live in a room. They had already discussed it privately. As the eldest, Lan Yu must live in a room alone. If the newcomer is a girl, she will share a room with Lan Mao, and if she is a boy, she will share a room with Xiao Feng. This is also the best allocation plan. Okay, I have no problem. Yang Tian had just expressed his opinion, but Xiao Feng yelled, I don't want it, I don't want to live in the same room with him. Xiao Feng had been looking forward to his sister bringing a girl back. From the first time he saw Yang Tian, he started to feel awkward. I'm so angry. Then you live in the living room, Lan Mao said angrily. Live in the living room, what's the big deal, Xiao Feng grumbled. So, Yang Tian was secretly happy, he didn't expect that he could have a separate room. After the housing problem was settled, everyone talked about the game with great interest. Lan Yu is a swordsman in the game. Lan Mao is a priest nanny. Xiao Feng is an archer. The 3 of them are already more than 10 levels, leaving the novice village and going to the main city to develop. Among the 3, Lan Yu is the strongest. It is said that she has a foundation in games before and seems to be a master. Well, in the eyes of Yang Tian, a god-level assassin, some so-called masters can only seem to be. Yang Tian, because you are a pure newcomer, I will not assign you tasks for the time being. I only have one request, that is, you try to choose an output profession, Lan Yu said seriously. Okay, Yang Tian nodded, he had already thought of the profession in his mind. After the chat, lunch was finished, Yang Tian took the virtual helmet and turned to enter Xiao Feng's room. No, it's his room now. Ding. Yang Tian turned on the switch of the helmet very skillfully, and then connected the mobile phone to the helmet using Bluetooth. In this way, the character in Yang Tian's game will get a virtual mobile phone, and in the game, he can also make calls in reality, which is very powerful and convenient. Now is the era of high technology, I am really not kidding. Yang Tian put on the helmet and lay on the bed, and the system-synthesized sound immediately rang in his ears. Ding. Your DNA information is empty, do you want to create an account and character? Yes. Your DNA is being collected, please wait. Yang Tian only felt a pain in the back of his neck, as if he was gently pricked by a needle. Collection completed, account generated. Welcome to the character creation hall of Taeju. As the system prompt sounded, Yang Tian came to a magnificent hall, in which more than a dozen characters who looked similar to Yang Tian but had completely different temperaments and dresses were suspended. They were warriors, swordsmen, knights, thieves, priests, mages, etc. Please choose your profession. Necromancer. Yang Tian decisively chose the pale and mysterious Necromancer. In his previous life, even though Yang Tian was a god-level assassin, he still fell under the siege of the giant star bug. Yang Tian knew that a person's power was limited. Now that he was reborn, he would choose the Necromancer. When he reached the god level, he would have a mighty army of god-level undead under his command. Damn it, he didn't believe that he would not be able to defeat the Zerg at that time. Character creation successful, please enter the ID. Break into the Widow village at night. Sorry, the ID you entered has been registered by someone else, please re-enter it. Solo brush the girls' dormitory. Sorry. I know it's hard to name now, but someone is also grabbing such a coquettish name. Yang Tian's mouth twitched. Muddy water. Yang Tian thought about it seriously, he wanted to stir up some muddy water in Taeju. No duplication in naming, are you sure? Yes. Character generation. Please choose a novice village, or the system will randomly transfer. As the system prompt sounded, a full screen of novice village options suddenly appeared in front of Yang Tian, dazzling. In this situation, most people would probably just randomly click one, or let the system choose randomly. But Yang Tian was different. He chose Dark Moon Village. In his previous life, Yang Tian played more than a dozen other professions besides being a god-level assassin, and he also visited hundreds of novice villages. Among them, Dark Moon Village is a novice village that is very suitable for the development of necromancers, and by completing a hidden task, necromancers can also be transferred to become undead overlords. You will be teleported to Dark Moon Village. I wish you a happy game. The system prompt sound gradually faded away, and Yang Tian's eyes went black. When he opened his eyes again, Yang Tian came to a dark-colored quaint village, surrounded by players and people. Taeju is so popular that countless newcomers rush in every day, and Yang Tian is just one of them. Without paying attention to other players, Yang Tian first checked the attribute list. Muddy water, ID. Occupation, Necromancer. Warzone, China. Title, None. Level, 1. HP, 50/50ths. MP, 100/100. Physical strength, 5, affects HP. Spirit, 10, affects MP. Strength, 2, affects physical attack power, affects the chance of physical attack triggering stiffness. Intelligence, 9, affects magic attack power, affects the chance of magic attack triggering stiffness. Agility, 4, affects speed. Physical attack power, 2. Physical defense power, 0. Magic attack power, 9. Magic defense power, 0. Fire attribute enhancement 0, fire attribute resistance 0. Ice attribute enhancement 0, ice attribute resistance 0. Light attribute enhancement 0, light attribute resistance -20. Dark attribute enhancement 0, dark attribute resistance 20. Occupational characteristics, light attribute resistance -20, dark attribute resistance add 20. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 5. Yang Tian flipped through his backpack again and found a staff, a cloth armor top, and a pair of cloth armor pants. Peachwood staff, white magic attack add 1/3. Silk top, white. Equipment type, cloth armor. Physical defense add 1. Silk trousers, white. Equipment type, cloth armor. Physical defense add 1. Now Yang Tian has no equipment on him, but he is not naked, but retains the cool and mysterious black robe of the Necromancer. Not only Yang Tian, but other newly born players also retain the original cool outfits of various professions. This is just to cover up shame. Once the equipment is put on, the outfit will disappear permanently. The setting of Taeju is still relatively humane. Otherwise, the novice village is probably full of underwear and bras. Yang Tian is not in a hurry to put on that set of garbage equipment. He also wants to experience the Necromancer outfit more. Of course, if players really like the profession-specific costumes, they can go to the fashion store to buy the same ones after entering the main city. Taeju is relatively fair. There is no so-called mall. The costumes sold in the fashion store have no additional attributes, but the price is quite expensive. If you buy a set, it will cost at least hundreds of RMB, and at most tens of thousands. Yang Tian is very familiar with Dark Moon Village. Unlike other newcomers who are just spinning around or wandering around the village, he found the professional mentor with ease. Muddy water, you are here. In order to make you a real necromancer, I decided to teach you a skill. The professional mentor of the necromancer is a short old man. He is only about 1.5 meters tall and has a pale and ugly face. In particular, he has lost several teeth in his mouth, and even his speech is leaking. After saying that, a skill list suddenly appeared in front of Yang Tian's eyes. Summon Skeleton Warrior, LV1 chant for 1 second, consume 50 MP points. Summon a LV1 Skeleton Warrior, depending on the master's level, every 1 second the Skeleton Warrior exists, consume 1 MP point and the Skeleton Warrior exists for a maximum of 300 seconds. Skill cooldown time, 60 seconds. Summon Wraith, LV1 chant for 1 second, consume 50 MP points. Summon a LV1 Wraith, depending on the master's level, every 1 second the Wraith exists, consume 1 MP point and the Wraith exists for a maximum of 100 seconds. Skill cooldown time, 60 seconds. Bone Spear, LV1 instant, consume 10 MP points. Release Bone Spear to attack the enemy, dark attribute attack, magic damage 130%, skill cooldown time, 5 seconds. When a newcomer finds a professional mentor for the first time, he can learn a basic skill for free, and the rest need to be purchased with money. This is a small benefit. Yang Tian smiled faintly and chose Summon Skeleton Warrior. In the early stage of the game, the Necromancer is a very popular profession, and the summoning profession represents power. In the middle of the game, after experiencing it, most players will delete their accounts and retrain other professions. In the late stage of the game, the Necromancer will be one of the least popular professions, and few will stick to it. Because the Necromancer profession is difficult to play, the most obvious disadvantage in the early stage is that it consumes mana, very much mana. For example, a level 1 Necromancer has a total of 100 MP points and summons a Skeleton Warrior and a Ghost at the same time, consuming 100 MP points, and that's it. If you want the Undead to continue to exist, you must supply MP. In other words, if the MP is empty, the Undead will disappear. Well, even if you only summon a Skeleton Warrior, but the Skeleton Warrior is very weak, after being killed by a monster in a few seconds, the 60-second skill cooldown time will also make you wait until you doubt your life. After the level increases, the Undead will also become stronger, but the stronger the summoned Undead, the more MP it consumes. For example, a level 2 Necromancer can summon a level 2 Skeleton Warrior, which costs 60 MP, and every second the Skeleton Warrior exists, it consumes 2 MP. A level 3 Necromancer summons a level 3 Skeleton Warrior, which costs 80 MP, and every second the Skeleton Warrior exists, it consumes 3 MP. And, as the skill level increases, the number of summoned Undead increases, 1 skeleton, 2 skeletons, 5 skeletons, 10 skeletons. This looks very cool. Commanding the Undead army, it is very exciting, but the MP consumed will also be infinitely stacked. Even if you are a rich player, you can spend money to find someone to lead you in the early stage. After the level is high, the MP will be relatively abundant. But if you find someone to lead you in the early stage, the skill level is not raised, resulting in a small number of summoned undead. That is not good. After the real experience, you will find that playing the Necromancer profession is very painful, and most people find it difficult to stick to it. In short, there are generally only two types of people who choose Necromancer, one is Ziobai, and the other is a high player. Yang Tian certainly belongs to the latter, and he is not an ordinary high-level player. Since he chose the Necromancer, he naturally has the confidence to play it. After learning Summon Skeleton Warrior, Yang Tian did not rashly go outside the village to kill monsters and upgrade. As a high-end player, he has his own high-end gameplay. Taking out the virtual mobile phone, Yang Tian logged into a game currency trading platform. Taegzu does not have the so-called game currency exchange function, but this cannot stop players from trading privately, and that kind of platform is commonly known as the black market. Why is it called the black market? Because everyone is black eating black. You are so shameless, it's disgustingly expensive. Yang Tian searched for Taegzu on the black market, and immediately a list of merchants selling game coins appeared. Those bastards sold game coins at extremely high prices. Taegzu has just been launched, and currently only 3 types of game coins are available, namely copper coins, silver coins, and gold coins. The ratio is, 1 gold coin equal 100 silver coins equal 10,000 copper coins. Taegzu has a very low explosion rate, and the game coin recycling work is done very well, resulting in a very stable price of game coins. Generally, the more stable the price of game coins, the more vibrant the game is. If the price of game coins fluctuates greatly, there must be a problem. The price increase is slightly better. If the price plummets, it will make the gold farming group lose motivation. Over time, the popularity will decline, leading to the demise of the entire game. In the previous life, Taegzu has been running for 5 years and is still in full swing. You can see its charm. In the previous life, the price of Taegzu game coins was often stable at 1:1, which is the ratio of RMB to silver coins. If it is the ratio of RMB to copper coins, it is 1:100. That is to say, 1 yuan can buy 1 silver coin, or 100 copper coins. Sometimes, 1 yuan can only buy more than 90 copper coins, and sometimes, it can buy more than 100 copper coins. This is a normal fluctuation. But now, Yang Tian swiped a few times, and the cheapest 1 yuan can only buy 40 copper coins. 44, die, I hum your grandmother. Yang Tian shouted, but still paid for it. Who said 144 is already the highest ratio now? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 6. Yang Tian had already linked his bank card to the black market. There was not much money in his bank card, and he could not even afford a virtual device, but he still had 1 or 2,000. Yang Tian spent 1,000 and bought 440 silver coins. Taegzu had just been launched, and many players were leveling up, and they needed to quickly change equipment and consume a lot of medicine, resulting in a shortage of game coins. That is why the current game coins are so expensive. But no matter how expensive it is, Yang Tian still bought it. If he was reluctant to invest in the early stage, how could he get a return later? With his strength, he could certainly start from scratch, but a little investment in the early stage would undoubtedly speed up the efficiency. Especially for the hummed-up profession of the Necromancer, after a little investment in the early stage, the effect was immediate. The so-called black market is actually a general term for game coin trading platforms, not a specific one. The platform that Yang Tian found is a subsidiary of a listed group, and there is no credibility problem. Less than a minute later, Yang Tian received an email with a ding-dong sound. When he opened it, he saw that it was 444 silver coins. With the money, Yang Tian opened the auction system and locked on the level 1 cloth armor and jewelry. Start searching. Don't want white equipment, lock on black iron and above. Taegzu has equipment of various qualities, namely white equipment, black iron, bronze, silver, gold, and so on. A level 1 black iron equipment that increases MP by 13 points is actually sold for 35 silver coins. It's a steal. Yang Tian was so scared that he screamed. 35 silver coins, according to the current ratio, is 70 or 80 yuan. A piece of junk equipment is actually sold at such a high price, I can't even imagine it. Yang Tian didn't buy it immediately, but compared prices from 3 stores. In the end, he was desperate, they were all the same, so expensive. Gritting his teeth, Yang Tian quickly bought 4 pieces of equipment. Black magic wand, black iron. Level 1. Physical attack add 1. Magic attack add 4/7. Additional attribute, spirit add 2. Black robe, black iron. Level 1. Equipment type, cloth armor. Physical defense add 3. Magic defense add 5. Additional attribute, MP add 13. Black pants, black iron. Level 1. Equipment type, cloth armor. Physical defense add 2. Magic defense add 4. Additional attribute, spirit add 1. Source power ring, bronze. Level 1. Magic defense add 12. Additional attribute, spirit add 5. Additional attribute, MP add 59. 3 black irons and 1 bronze. The 3 black iron equipments together cost only over 100 silver coins. That source power ring cost over 200 silver coins. There is no other way. At this stage, bronze is a high-quality equipment. It is normal for the price to be so expensive. These 4 pieces of equipment have one thing in common, which is to increase MP. Spirit also increases MP, 1 point of spirit add 10 points of MP. Yang Tian did not choose intelligence, but MP. Intelligence represents magic damage, but the undead don't take your magic damage at all. Each undead is an independent individual with its own attributes. The ones that take magic damage are output skills such as Bone Spear. This is the difference between the Necromancer and the Elementalist. High-end Necromancers should not give up output skills, but they still rely more on the undead in the early stage. And the undead consumes MP very much, so it is the best way to stack MP first. After wearing all 4 pieces of equipment, Yang Tian's MP reached 252, which is still a bit low, but Yang Tian has no extra money. To buy these 4 pieces of equipment, Yang Tian spent nearly 400 silver coins, and the remaining dozens of silver coins were needed to buy skills and medicines. After spending another 10 silver coins, Yang Tian learned summoning wraiths and bone spear. Then he went straight to the store to buy medicine. Low-level bread, price 10 copper coins, after eating, it restores 20 HP per second, which lasts for 5 seconds. Low-level spring water, price, 10 copper coins. After drinking, it restores 20 MP per second for 5 seconds. Yang Tian spent 5 silver coins to buy 100 loaves of bread, and used all the remaining money to buy a total of 560 bottles of spring water. So far, all the game coins he spent 1000 yuan to buy have been spent. It's so damn expensive. Yang Tian actually didn't plan to buy bread. After all, with his strength, and he is a necromancer, it is difficult for ordinary monsters to encounter him. But he is afraid of encountering blind players, especially thieves. You know, when a player of Taegzu dies, he will drop a level directly. How cruel it is. To be on the safe side, Yang Tian still bought some bread. Haha, get ready, Start the sweep. Yang Tian laughed and ran out of the village. When he passed by the village chief's house, he stopped. Village chief, do you need any help? The old village chief stood in front of the door with a sad face. Hearing this, he first touched his grey beard, and then said irritably, "Muddy water, you came at the right time. It's like this recently, there are more and more slimes outside the village. They make people unable to sleep at night. Go and help me kill 30 slimes to rub their spirits." Ding dong, congratulations on triggering the F-level task. Help the village chief. Task requirements: kill 30 slimes. Task rewards: 30 experience points, 5 copper coins. Do you accept it? Yes. Yang Tian decisively accepted it, and then said goodbye to the village chief and went out of the village. System: you found the Black Ruins, experience add 10. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian gained 10 experience points, which is also the setting of Taigzu. Players will gain a certain amount of experience points when they come to a new map for the first time. The higher the level of the map, the more experience points they will gain. In the Black Ruins, there are many puddles of different sizes, but they are not rainwater, but green pungent acid water. This acid water is corrosive to a certain extent. If players accidentally step on it, they will lose a certain amount of health. Looking around, there are many basketball-sized black slimes playing in the acid water, and of course there are many slimes jumping on the dry ground. The Black Ruins are bustling with people. In the early stage of the game, new players continue to pour in. This is still a popular map. Countless players either form a team or play alone, fighting slimes with sticks. Yang Tian didn't want to be disturbed, so he walked to a corner deep inside and found a lone slime. Slime, common monster. Level 1. HP, 50/50ths. Physical attack power, 20. Magic attack power, 30. Skill, spray acid water. Come out, my skeleton warrior. It took 1 second for Yang Tian to recite a string of spells, and with the sound of Duan, a black magic circle lit up at his feet. A pale skeleton slowly climbed up from the magic circle. It was about 1.8 meters tall, made of bones, with empty hands and no weapons or equipment. LV1 skeleton warriors look like this. As Yang Tian's level increases, the summoned skeleton warriors will become stronger and more majestic, and various equipment will appear on their bodies. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 7. Skeleton Warrior, Normal Monster. Grade 1. HP 100/100. Physical attack power, 15. Skills, none. Damn, rubbish. Yang Tian glanced at the skeleton warrior and immediately sneered. You must know that I spent 50 MP points to summon you. How can you be such rubbish? Xiaobai, kill me. Yang Tian casually gave the skeleton warrior a name, pointed at the slime opposite, and ordered. Hearing this, Xiaobai immediately moved, rushed over and kicked the slime, -15. The slime was angry, jumped up and hit Xiaobai in the stomach, -18. 2 damage values appeared one after another, and the judgment was made. The damage of this garbage skeleton warrior was actually not as high as that of the slime. Fortunately, its health is twice that of a slime, so if we keep fighting like this, we should be able to win. Suddenly, the slime's cheeks bulged, which was obviously a precursor to spraying acid water. Xiaobai, run, Yang Tian gave the order, but Xiaobai's reaction and speed were too slow, and he was still shot in the face with green acid water. 45. A huge damage value appeared, and Xiaobai's HP suddenly dropped to less than half. Tisk, tisk, fortunately spraying acid water has a cooling time, otherwise Xiaobai really can't beat the slime. Yang Tian smiled bitterly and quietly watched Xiaobai and the slime fight. A few seconds passed, and Xiaobai only had more than 30 HP left, while slime only had 11 HP left. Yang Tian instantly fired his bone spear and repaired it. System, you killed the slime and gained 5 experience points. It takes 100 experience points to upgrade to level 2. I have 15 points now. If I don't kill 20 slimes, I can upgrade. Yang Tian touched his chin and began to think. The black wand has added a few points of magic attack, and now his bone spear can generally deal about 20 points of damage, and 2 shots can knock the slime down to residual health. Bone spear consumes 10 MP points and has a cooldown time of 5 seconds. Using more bone spears will help improve the efficiency of killing monsters and reduce the pressure on skeletons. After 5 seconds, the bone spear will cool down. Yang Tian released it again, hitting another slime, and ordered Xiao Bai to go up and fight with it. Xiao Bai rushed up and only hit the slime once, before being killed with acid water. Fortunately, the slime's HP was less than 20 points. After the bone spear cooled down, Yang Tian released it again to kill it. Yang Tian is still very powerful. It is difficult to hit a small and active monster like a slime with long-range skills, but Yang Tian can almost always hit it. This is his strength. Wait for more than 30 seconds before summon Skeleton Warrior cools down again. Yang Tian summoned a new Xiao Bai and drank a bottle of spring water to replenish it. Low-level spring water restores 20 MP points per second for 5 seconds. In short, if Yang Tian's MP consumption reaches 100, he will drink a bottle immediately, and there is no waste. Xiao Bai, come on, Yang Tian directed the new Xiao Bai and rushed towards the refreshed slime again. 10 minutes later, Xiao Bai had died no less than 8 times, and a pleasant system prompt finally sounded in Yang Tian's ears. Ding dong, congratulations on your upgrade, physical strength add 1, mental add 1, strength add 1, intelligence add 1, agility add 1, and you have gained 5 free attribute points. White light rose into the sky, and Yang Tian upgraded. Every time a player levels up, 1 point will be added to each of the 5 basic attributes. This has nothing to do with occupation and is the same. At the same time, 5 free attribute points are obtained, and players can allocate them freely. After all, each profession has a different focus. For example, a warrior needs strength and physical strength, a thief needs strength and agility, and a mage needs intelligence and spirit. And some professions have multiple ways to play, such as the magic swordsman. This profession has both physical attacks and magic attacks. Whether to take the physical or magic route depends on the player's own choice. Decisively, Yang Tian added spirit to all 5 free attribute points. MP finally broke through the 300 mark. Come out, Xiao Bai. Yang Tian rose to level 2 and used Summon Skeleton Warrior again to summon a level 2 Skeleton Warrior. Skeleton Warrior, Common Monster. Level 2. HP 200/200. Physical attack power, 22. Skills, none. The level 2 Skeleton Warrior is a little stronger and has an extra bone rod in his hand, which looks much more pleasing to the eye. It's not just physical attack power that's increased, but life and defense as well. If you beat the slime again, Xiao Bai will not die so easily. In addition, Yang Tian uses the bone spear to consume it, and he can kill a slime quickly. Xiao Bai was basically uninjured. The level 2 Skeleton Warrior gradually became stronger. You know, the Skeleton Warrior can exist for up to 300 seconds. As long as it's not easy to die, it's still quite reliable, and the efficiency is improved. At this time, the advantages of Yang Tiandui MP were gradually revealed. You must know that the higher the level of the Skeleton Warrior, the greater the consumption, and Yang Tian's current MP is already quite high, plus the supply of spring water, he can already afford it. Yang Tian found that after upgrading to level 2, and then fighting level 1 slimes, the experience gain did not decrease, it was still 5 points. However, the experience required to upgrade from level 2 to level 3 has increased, requiring a full 500 points. Yang Tian chose to continue fighting slimes. Of course, he and Xiao Bai no longer had to be timid and were no longer satisfied with attacking lone slimes. Instead, they rushed towards the slime monster group. At one time, kill 3-5 slimes. Xiao Bai can kill a slime with 2 or 3 slashes now, and his life and defense are improved. He is not afraid of a group of slime monsters. Even if he dies in battle, he can often last for more than 60 seconds. And Summon Skeleton Warrior has only a 60-second cooldown time. If Xiao Bai dies in battle, Yang Tian will immediately summon a new Xiao Bai, which will not affect the efficiency of killing monsters at all. More than 10 minutes later, Yang Tian's experience value was stuck at 470 points, and he ran back to the village to hand in the task. Swish. White light rose, and Yang Tian reached level 3. In one word, cool. Muddy water, you are a long-lost strong man. I have 2 more tasks here. The old village chief said with a smile. Ding dong, congratulations on triggering the F-level task, help the village chief too. Task requirements, kill 40 black shells, task rewards, 80 experience points, 8 copper coins. Do you accept it? Ding dong, congratulations on triggering the F-level mission, help the village chief 3, mission requirements, kill 50 skeletons, mission rewards, 150 experience points, 10 copper coins. Do you accept it? Accept. Yang Tian accepted all the tasks. Although they were all rubbish tasks, he had to kill monsters to level up anyway, so it was okay to complete the tasks and get some rewards. Leaving the village again, Yang Tian walked into the depths of the black ruins. Looking around, there were many players killing black shells. Black shells are also a dark creature, looking like dogs, not much bigger than slimes, but they look particularly ferocious, with scarlet eyes and exposed black fangs, showing a terrifying aura. Black shells are different from slimes. Slimes generally do not actively attack players, and will only fight back when attacked. Black shells are level 2 monsters, and monsters above level 2 will generally attack players actively. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 8. Skeleton Warrior, Normal. Level 3. HP 300/300. Physical Attack, 32-35. Skill, Heavy Hit. Black Shell, Normal. Level 2. HP, 150/150. Physical Attack, 30. Skill, Bite. As soon as Yang Tian arrived at the ruins, a black shell rushed over. Yang Tian retreated and chanted, and after 1 second, he summoned Xiao Bai. Level 3 Xiao Bai has become much stronger. The low-quality bone rod in his hand has been replaced by a bone knife, and he also has an additional heavy attack skill. Xiao Bai, charge, Yang Tian ordered. Xiao Bai rushed forward, first kicked Haibei, and then slashed with the bone knife, a heavy blow. 28. 42. 2 consecutive injuries appeared, and Haibei was seriously injured. I saw the black shell swooping out fiercely, the fangs at the corners of its mouth flashing with a frightening cold light. Bite. It activated its skill, and its bite could break open flesh and blood, causing bleeding damage. However, the skeleton was so rigid that the power of its bite was greatly reduced, and there was no bleeding damage. Haibei bit Xiao Bai's leg bone, only inflicting a measly 20 points of damage. Xiao Bai slashed twice in a row, forcing Haibei's HP to below 20 points. Yang Tian then fired a bone spear and harvested it. System, you killed Haibei and gained 15 experience points. With the death of Haibei, he contributed a little experience and also exploded a copper coin. This was the first time Yang Tian exploded something, so he walked over and picked it up with interest. He has killed many slimes before, but nothing exploded, which shows that the explosion rate of Taigzu is low. Next, Yang Tian directed Xiao Bai to find other Haibei to kill. Suddenly, he discovered a black shell that was slightly larger than usual. Strong black shell, advanced. Level 2. HP 200/200. Physical attack, 35. Skill, enhanced bite. That black shell looks obviously larger than the average black shell, and even its name and grade are different. Hey, high-level monster, Yang Tian smiled faintly. Monsters in Taixu are divided into multiple levels, in order: ordinary, advanced, elite, leader, lord, and so on. Ordinary monsters have a chance to explode with white equipment. High-level monsters have a chance to explode black iron and white equipment. Elites have a chance to break out bronze and below equipment. The boss has a chance to explode silver and below equipment. Lord, there is a chance to explode gold and below equipment. High-level monsters are actually a type of ordinary monsters and are relatively common. Elites and above are rare monsters. Once refreshed, countless players will inevitably stir up conflicts and fight to the death. This also leads to the fact that bronze and above equipment are very expensive. Rare things are more valuable, this is an eternal law. Xiaobai, kill it, Yang Tian shouted. Xiaobai received the order and immediately rushed towards the strong Haibei and started fighting with him. Strengthen the bite? Haibei whined and bit down on Xiaobai's leg bone, causing a crack. Strengthening the power of biting is obviously much stronger than biting. After Xiaobai and Haibei fought for several rounds, Haibei gradually lost ground, then suddenly got up again and used enhanced bite again, biting the injured part of Xiaobai's leg bone. With a click, Xiaobai's leg bones were broken from the wound and became disabled. Without a leg, Xiaobai is not only unable to exert his full strength, he can't even stand firmly. With a clang, it lay on the ground in a panic. Haibei took the opportunity to bite wildly, causing Xiaobai's HP to continue to drop. Waste. Yang Tian cursed, and could only use Xiaobai as a human shield, hiding behind, and using the bone spear to consume. In less than 5 seconds, Xiaobai was bitten to death by Haibei and turned into white light and dispersed. Haibei turned around and rushed towards Yang Tian again. Grandma, let me show you the strength of a god-level assassin. Yang Tian held the black wand horizontally and his eyes turned cold. Ouch! Haibei roared and rushed towards Yang Tian angrily. At the moment of taking off, Yang Tian's eyes narrowed and he took a step sideways, perfectly dodging Haibei's attack. Taking advantage of the half-second gap between Haibei's takeoff and landing, Yang Tian shook his right hand, and the sharp part of the tail of the black wand stabbed Haibei's butt. Haibei turned around and attacked Yang Tian again. However, every time Yang Tian was able to turn slightly sideways and slightly change the coordinates when Haibei took off, allowing Haibei to jump into the air. At the same time, poke it again with the black wand. At this stage, Yang Tian only has one output skill, Bone Spear. When the Bone Spear cools down, he can only use physical attacks. His current physical attack power is 5 points, and he cannot break through the defense of the strong black shell at all. He can often only force 1 point of damage. However, he is very aware and moves very coquettishly, so Haibei was never able to really hurt him. A few minutes passed, Yang Tian hit 1 point of blood each time, grinding Haibei to death. From the beginning to the end, the strong black shell could not touch the corner of his clothes, which shows how strong he is. The strong black shell dies, exploding 3 copper coins and a black fragment. Yang Tian's heart moved and he bowed to pick it up. Low-level dark gem fragment, black iron level 2, dark attribute enhancement add 1. Finally, a good thing came out, it's worth the hard battle. Yang Tian smiled slightly. Dark strength add 1, increase 1% of dark attribute damage. Undead are basically dark attributes, they don't eat magic attack, but eat dark strength. At the same time, bone spears also eat dark strength. Although 1% is not much, it is better than nothing. Moreover, 5 pieces of same name and same level gem fragments can be synthesized into a complete gem. The effect of the gem is naturally much stronger. Gem also occupy a place in the equipment column. Players are born with 5 gem slots, and they can continue to expand after completing the corresponding tasks in the later stage. Although the gem fragment in Yang Tian's hand is only a fragment, it can also be put into the gem slot to improve the attribute. Okay, this wave is not a loss. After Yang Tian put the fragment into the gem slot, he smiled wildly and summoned a brand new Xiaobai to continue slaughtering Haibei. Soon, he killed 30 black clams and completed a task. Yang Tian turned around and continued to walk towards the depths of the black ruins. After passing through a jungle, Yang Tian came to a black open space. On that open space, there were many lonely skeletons wandering around. Skeleton Man, normal. Level 3. HP, 300/300. Physical attack power, 40. Skills, none. Skeleton Soldier, advanced. Level 3. HP, 500/500. Physical attack power, 60. Skills, none. Looking around, most of the people wandering around the open space were skeletons, with only a few skeleton soldiers. Whether it was a skeleton man or a skeleton soldier, they were all empty-handed and had no weapons or equipment. And judging from the name, they were not as advanced as the skeleton warriors. But judging from the attributes, they were not weaker than the level 3 skeleton warriors, especially the attributes of the skeleton soldiers, which were obviously better than Xiaobai. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 9. However, Xiaobai has a skill, which is his only advantage. Intentionally bypassing the skeleton soldiers, Yang Tian commanded Xiaobai to rush towards a skeleton man, and the two sides fought each other. Xiaobai has one more skill, and Yang Tian keeps using bone spears to consume it. After half a minute, the skeleton man died tragically. At this time, Xiaobai only had half of his HP left, and Yang Tian commanded it to rush towards another skeleton man again. Another half a minute passed, and Xiaobai almost died together with the skeleton man. Summon Skeleton Warrior has a cooling time of exactly 1 minute, and it just cooled down at this moment, and Yang Tian summoned a brand new Xiaobai again. The efficiency did not decrease. In less than half an hour, Yang Tian killed 50 skeletons, completed the last task, and also upgraded to level 4 in the middle. Yang Tian did not return to the village to hand in the task, but chose to continue to swipe monsters. He wanted to get another wave of experience, and then return to the village to hand in the task and directly upgrade to level 5. Wouldn't it be more fun? As a god-level master, Yang Tian knows how to use every minute of time to maximize efficiency. Skeleton Warrior, normal. Level 4. HP, 450/450. Physical attack, 40-45. Skill, heavy attack. Xiaobai is getting stronger and stronger. With Yang Tian's help, he can easily kill the skeletons. Yang Tian still didn't provoke the skeletons. Now he and Xiaobai may kill the skeletons, but it is undoubtedly difficult. It is more comfortable to kill the skeletons. After killing more than a dozen skeletons, Yang Tian suddenly saw a player returning from a higher level monster area, coming to the black open space, and running towards him intentionally or unintentionally. The man was holding a sharp dagger in his hand. He was a thief. Why not an assassin? Because assassin is an advanced profession of thieves, thief players can change their profession only after they reach level 10 and go to the main city. Sharp knife, ID information hidden. Players can choose to hide information without being seen by outsiders. If you want, you can even hide your ID, of course, even if your ID is hidden, it will be exposed when you are in a team or PK. Oh! A necromancer who is playing alone, Xiao Daofeng looked at Yang Tian with a malicious smile. Necromancers are very difficult to play alone because they are extremely short of mana in the early stage. Because of this, Xiao Daofeng was quite surprised to see Yang Tian's profession. In addition, Yang Tian had several pieces of equipment, and none of them looked like garbage white equipment. Xiao Daofeng's eyes suddenly became greedy. Boy, you have two choices now. First, hand over a piece of black iron equipment and get out. Second, you will be killed by me and lose one level, Xiao Daofeng said arrogantly. He is obviously a veteran in the game and is quite proficient in robbing. He proposed that Yang Tian use a piece of black iron equipment to exchange for a level, which is very targeted. Because if Yang Tian does not hand it over, he will kill Yang Tian. Not only will Yang Tian lose one level, but he may also drop equipment. In this way, the robbed person will easily compromise. But if Yang Tian was really stupid enough to hand it over, he would not let Yang Tian go, but would continue to make excessive demands. You don't know what you mean, Yang Tian laughed angrily and commanded Xiao Bai to rush towards Xiao Daofeng. I am the ancestor of your thieves and assassins. How dare you rob me? At this time, Yang Tian looked at Xiao Daofeng Li as if he was looking at a dead person. With a thought, Yang Tian sent an order to Xiao Bai, rush over, but don't attack. Looking for death. Seeing the skeleton warrior rushing towards him, Xiao Daofeng Li's face instantly darkened. He took 2 quick steps and rushed towards Xiao Bai. The sharp dagger in his hand suddenly turned into a black stick and hit Xiao Bai on the head. Stun. 52. As the damage emerged, a circle of golden stars suddenly appeared on Xiao Bai's head, which meant he was in a dizzy state. System, you have been maliciously attacked by the player Xiao Daofeng Li. You can counter-attack within 30 minutes. The system prompt sounded in his ears, and Yang Tian smiled sinisterly. You know, if you kill someone after a malicious attack, you will be marked as a red name. The price of dying as a red name is extremely high. Not only will you lose one level, but you will also lose at least one piece of equipment, and there is even a chance that all your equipment will be dropped. After death, you will be locked up in the dungeon. Kill one person, you will be marked as a red name for 1 hour, and you will be locked up in the dungeon for an hour after death. Kill 100 people, you will be marked as a red name for 100 hours, and you will be locked up in the dungeon for 100 hours after death. Some murderers slaughter thousands of people and become super red names. Once they die, they will be imprisoned for life, an account is basically ruined. And now, Yang Tian passively counterattacks and kills Xiao Daofeng Li without being marked as a red name. Seeing Yang Tian's sinister smile, Xiao Daofeng Li immediately understood, his face was blue with veins rolling, and he almost went berserk. Dare to play tricks on me. Xiao Daofeng Li cursed angrily, decisively gave up Xiao Bai, and rushed towards Yang Tian. Although angry, Xiao Daofeng Li's face was full of confidence. Without the undead, a necromancer was no match for him. He was very fast, 1 step was equivalent to 2 steps of Yang Tian. However, Yang Tian remained calm, retreating while chanting. A second later, Yang Tian stretched out his left hand, and the black ghost flew out from his sleeves and rushed straight towards Xiao Daofeng Li. With long black hair, the ghost had a human female face, a pale face, and a black robe with no visible feet. It was a floating monster. This is the first time Yang Tian summoned a ghost, because the ghost has almost no output ability, and its defense is low and its health is thin. Even if the level is increased, it is still the same. Its only function is to control. Possession skill, hit the enemy to bind it for 1-2 seconds, and the cooldown time is 5 seconds. The ghost suddenly flew out, which surprised Xiao Daofeng Li. In a trance, he was entangled by the ghost and fell into a bound state, motionless. Xiaobai had long woken up from the dizzy state, and under Yang Tian's command, he rushed over here. Brushing 2 consecutive slashes, one of which was a heavy blow. 38. 71. 38. 71. The ghost lost blood at the same time, which is one of the reasons why Yang Tian can't stand it. You have low defense and thin blood, you are weak, and you lose blood at the same time as the enemy, stupid. Of course, no matter how hard he is to stand, Yang Tian still recognizes the strength of the ghost. The control skills are really awesome, especially after the skill level is increased in the later stage. Yang Tian summons dozens of skeleton warriors and dozens of ghosts at the same time, and then the ghosts control and the skeleton warriors slaughter. Just thinking about that scene makes your blood boil. Although the sharp knife hides the information, there will be a blood bar floating above the head of each player. At this time, the sharp knife is continuously injured, and the life suddenly drops to the freezing point, and it can no longer withstand any attack. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 10. After being slashed twice by Xiaobai, his life dropped to the freezing point, and Xiao Dao Fengli finally struggled out of the restrained state. Although Yang Tian was right in front of him, he turned around and ran away. He knew that if he continued to fight, he would be chopped to death by the skeleton warrior before killing Yang Tian. While running, he shouted, "Muddy water! I remember you. I'll spare your life this time, but I'll chop you to death next time." "Heh, spare my life." Yang Tian smiled, and instantly fired a bone spear to hit Xiao Dao Fengli's back and took him away. As Xiao Dao Fengli died, he also dropped a copper coin and a dagger. Short blade, black iron. Level 3. Physical attack add 917. Additional attributes, strength add 5. Not bad, it's actually black iron equipment. Yang Tian sighed and picked up the dagger and copper coin with a smile. Public channel, Xiao Dao Fengli, muddy water, you bastard, put down my dagger. Public channel, Xiao Dao Fengli, damn you, you've offended someone, do you know that? I'm a member of the Black Knife Alliance, just wait to be killed and return to level 0. After Xiao Dao Fengli died, his body fell down. He didn't rush back to the village to revive, but instead cursed in the public channel. Yang Tian was so angry that he kicked him in the face twice. What's the Black Knife Alliance? I haven't even heard of it. It's probably just a 3rd or 5th-rate guild. Although he was disdainful, Yang Tian became a little cautious. He entered the game more than 10 days late and had lost the first opportunity. Just talking about the Dark Moon Village, there are many players with higher levels than him, and there are even many players at level 9 and 10. If the top leaders of the Black Knife Alliance are also players at level 9 or 10, then he would be in a bit of danger. If he played a thief, Yang Tian would naturally be able to walk sideways in the novice village, but the Necromancer was too hummed up in the early stage, so he had to take it more seriously. Xiao Dao Fengli cursed a few words, and soon returned to the village to revive. I believe that it will not be long before he brings people to hunt down Yang Tian. Not only did he lose 1 level, but he also lost a black iron dagger. Xiao Dao Fengli was furious. Yang Tian got up and left. He was naturally not stupid enough to wait for Xiao Dao Fengli to call people over. Yang Tian did not leave the level 3 monster area, but walked to a corner with a huge rock behind him, where weeds piled up and lushly formed a forest. Yang Tian dived into the grass, and no one could have imagined that there was a cave in the place blocked by the lush grass. Yang Tian passed through the cave and came to another world divided by the huge rock. Looking around, there were still lush forests in the distance, and there was a large open space under his feet, with countless skeletons and skeleton soldiers wandering around. System, you found the Black Ruins. Inside, congratulations on finding the hidden map, and get 100 experience points. System, as the first player to discover the hidden map, you will be awarded an extra skill point. Yang Tian was not very happy when the system prompt sounded in his ears. This was expected. In the early stage, it is better to upgrade faster while killing monsters and completing tasks. If it is not necessary, Yang Tian does not want to come here so soon. Of course, this place is very safe and hidden. With a sharp knife, you may not be able to find this place in your lifetime. Even in the previous life, there were very few people who knew this hidden map, and Yang Tian was one of them. Getting a skill point is something worth being happy about. You should know that in Takezu, if players want to upgrade their skills, they can generally only accumulate skill proficiency. Summon Skeleton Warrior, LV1 Proficiency 155/500. For example, summon Skeleton Warrior, from LV1 to LV2, you need to meet 500 proficiency points. At present, there are only 155 points, which is still a long way from upgrading. If you use skill points, you can directly upgrade the skill by one level. It can be seen that skill points are powerful. Generally, players can get a small amount of skill points only if they are the first to kill a dungeon, the first to kill a lord boss, or the first to discover a hidden map. These are very difficult things to do, and for this reason, skill points are extremely valuable. Because they are valuable, even if Yang Tian got a skill point, he was reluctant to use it at this moment. You know, the higher the skill level, the more proficiency is required to upgrade. Generally speaking, if a player gets a skill point by chance, he should keep it for later use, because that is the only way to give full play to the value of the skill point. If it is used in the early stage, it is a waste. It is a crime. Yang Tian does not want to waste it, nor does he want to commit a crime, so he will not use the skill point for the time being. Clicking on the auction system casually, Yang Tian searched the price of the level 3 black iron dagger, which was actually more than 150 silver coins. According to the current ratio, 150 silver coins are equal to more than 300 yuan. A garbage dagger is actually sold so expensive, cool. Yang Tian laughed and put the black iron dagger that burst out of the sharp hand of the knife on the shelf, selling it for 145 silver coins. After finishing, Yang Tian summoned Xiao Bai and continued to kill skeleton soldiers. More than half an hour later, Yang Tian reached level 5 and sold the black iron dagger. After deducting the 5% handling fee, Yang Tian received 137 silver and 75 copper coins. The handling fee of the auction house is a bit disgusting, so many people choose to set up stalls in the novice village or the main city to sell, and there is no handling fee for setting up stalls. Of course, Yang Tian doesn't care about this handling fee. Now that he has the money, he can buy equipment and skill books. You should know that each professional instructor only provides 3 basic skills, and the rest of the skills need to be learned by players through skill books. Skill books can be exploded in the wild, but of course the explosion rate is extremely low. Summon Skeleton Mage, level 5 summoning skill of the Necromancer, the lowest price is 280 silver coins. Ghost Hand, level 5 control skill of the Necromancer, the lowest price is 130 silver coins. Damage Deepening, level 5 output skill of the Necromancer, the lowest price is 50 silver coins. Awesome, a few garbage skills are actually sold so expensive. Yang Tian smiled bitterly, spent 50 silver coins to buy the cheapest damage deepening, clapped his hands, and learned it directly. Damage Deepening, LV1 instant, consumes 30 MP points, deepens the enemy's damage, and adds 50% damage skill cooldown time, 5 seconds. Damage Deepening is a very interesting skill. It cannot cause damage to intact enemies. If the enemy is damaged, using Damage Deepening will add a wave of damage. For example, Xiao Bai chopped the skeleton man and dealt 100 points of damage. At this time, if Yang Tian uses Damage Deepening, the skeleton man will receive 50 additional damage. This skill is actually a very powerful skill, especially in the later stage, when the Necromancer can summon a powerful undead like the Black Knight. The Black Knight throws out a big move, and the Necromancer adds a damage deepening. The effect is outstanding. Because as the level of damage deepening increases, its additional damage will exceed 100%. For example, if the Black Knight uses a big move to deal 10,000 points of damage, the additional damage of damage deepening will exceed 10,000 points. At the same time, although damage deepening does not take magic attack, it takes dark power. Both are level 5 skills. The reason why damage deepening is sold the cheapest is mainly because no one knows how terrible it is now.